A Wounded Fawn. Definitely an interesting title for an interesting movie, and I'll get into that in a moment. But let's start off with this IMDb plot. A serial killer brings an unsuspecting new victim on a weekend getaway to add another body to his ever growing count. Alright, always growing that count. She's buying into his faux charms, and he's eagerly lusting for blood. Interesting combination. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, what could go wrong? Yeah, lots of stuff goes wrong. Alright, like I said, interesting title to this one. And it is a strange movie. But is it worth the watch? I don't know. I'll let you know here soon. But basically, it is a newer movie, so I'll try to keep this spoiler free, which might be a little hard to do. It's a little bit hard to explain too, anyway, but try to keep it, I guess, to the basics here. Early on, you have this auction of some interesting, old items and so forth. And I don't know if you want to call it intense, but a little bit of intense bidding for a certain item. And a woman wins the item. She's kind of representing another party. And, she basically takes home the spoils of winning this auction from another guy. And she goes home, and she's kind of at home and celebrating and so forth. And in the process gets a knock on the door. And here comes the person that she was bidding against primarily. And he has an offer for her that she basically can't refuse. And she lets him in. They come in, they talk about this offer and so forth. You think things are going to be all good and so forth, and they seem to have strike a deal. And then you find out, not so good for the woman, as you can expect. Then things kind of move on, and that's just kind of the to get you started. And then it kind of moves on, and you see the same gentleman here in a totally different way, kind of trying to woo another woman. And you see a little bit of this woman too on the side before you get into their meeting, so you get introduced to her as well. And there's another movie where we kind of see a friend kind of warn another friend, do you really know this guy enough to be going on a trip for him, staying overnight with him somewhere? And all is good. We've seen all those horror movies. I'm prepared. It'll be fine. He's a nice guy, and all that kind of thing. I think we've seen it a couple of times in movies in the last couple of years. I guess the dating world is not going too great out there. So she proceeds to go on a trip with him, and out to another secluded location. Just don't, go to a hotel with lots of people and stuff. What is this seclusion and stuff? I know you want private time, but not working out well for many, and it's not going to work out too great here either. They get there, and as they're getting out of the car, maybe even before, there's maybe a little bit of a strange conversation going on. And then when they get there, like I said, she's been warned, and she's got her guard up. Even though she kind of likes him, she still has her guard up to a point. But there's some weird things kind of happening in the background and so forth. And then they finally get inside, and things seem to kind of settle down. They seem like they're gonna get things rolling again, and weird things then start picking up again. And you see, on her end being kind of cautious, and then on his end, you kind of see that maybe there's something not right with him. And you start seeing like these weird like ancient creature kind of things kind of every once in a while flash on the scene. And I'm not really sure if they were like in his mind or he was just seeing it or so forth, but you kind of have that going on. Like I said, it's an interesting and strange movie, and maybe I'm not the best person to explain the kind of thing, but he kind of sees that, and that obviously kind of playing with him and so forth, and kind of maybe controlling him in a way, maybe not, but definitely playing a role in why he's doing the things he's doing. So things hit the head here, and like previously, a fight ensues, and he's obviously going to try to kill her. And I'm probably not gonna get too much into depth after what happens after this, because maybe I'm not completely sure exactly everything that happened after this, and but let's just see. Trying to think of a way to kind of say this in a non-spoiler way. She may or may not be dead. You may or may not find out more about what is haunting him. Maybe he's just haunted from this point on. Maybe she is alive. It is definitely going to kind of flip to the strange, and he is definitely going to face some issues from this point on, and some battles, and be tormented, and maybe put in his own little personal hell here. And let's just say maybe some of the victims of his past are going to play a role, or at least be on his mind here. And it's definitely going to end in a funny way, kind of in a way that as the credits kind of roll, there's going to be a death, and a death that someone is just never seems to die as the credit rolls on. So I thought that was very interesting and fun. Maybe to keep your attention on the credits, or if not, at least maybe not reading the names that go by, but maybe just seeing the action that's kind of happening in the background. Kind of interesting there. But yeah, I would say, it gets a little bloody and a little intense along the way, which is good. I'm all for that. But it's also, there is, like I said, and I kind of say it again, a strangeness to it, and so forth. So you're gonna have to pay attention and have to follow along to see, what is kind of in reality, what may not be in reality, his reality, maybe not his reality, and so forth. Obviously, he's a serial killer who's gotten away with this for a while, and now it might just come a point where he picked the wrong person, or it might be just too much to bear at this point. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff, interesting scenery is going to come around as this goes on. Josh Ruben plays the serial killer in this movie, and he does a really good job of it. So does his counterpart here, Sarah Lind, I guess, butchering names as usual. She does a good job as well, along with some scary, weird-looking creatures who in the background, whoever played them, and so forth. But Josh definitely stands out because he eventually is going to end up with a lot of screen time here, and does a really good job in the process. So so if you're in for something maybe a little bit weird and so forth, at least it was for me, maybe not for others. This might be for you. I still enjoyed it, even though it confused me a little bit, or I kind of got lost in the weirdness. But I still enjoyed it, not to say the least. So I'm going to give it 3 pools of blood, and definitely recommend that you guys at least check it out. It is now on Shudder. Tried not to spoil anything. Hopefully I did not spoil anything. But like I said, a little confused by everything that happened. But I just, definitely the end scene in the movie definitely stuck with me, and I just kind of replaying that credits go by scene was pretty funny. But I definitely think you guys should definitely check this out. 3 pools of blood, of course, out of 5. And with that, horosgravereviews.blogspot.com is where you can find all of my reviews, written and video. But if you're just interested in the video reviews, subscribe, like, and do all those things that everybody wants you to do. If not, no big deal. But I am trying to add some other stuff to the channel to keep you guys entertained besides watching me ramble on and on and on. So you can please explore and check those things out as well. Twitter, Facebook, information down below. Reach out to me, talk to me about this movie, other movies, horror in general. If you have something for me to review, try to do that as well. And of course the comment section. If maybe you didn't find the movie strange or weird in any way, you can let me know that it's just me and my imagination. Or what you thought of that end credit scene. Definitely interesting way to go out. So with that, I guess I will catch you on the next review, horror fans.